Hello guys, welcome to our English talk show. Today we are very happy to have invited the brilliant music producer Robert to be on our show. Hi Robert, welcome to channel, welcome to our talk show.
Thank you so much.
It's a real pleasure. Could you first introduce yourself a bit more to your audience?
Sure, my name is Robert Copeland. I'm from Los Angeles, originally from the middle of the US in the country. And I've been in Los Angeles for a long time. I came to Asia about 20 years ago.
Oh.
And I've been producing music over here for quite a while now.
Wow. How many times have you been here in Beijing?
Several times. I come to Beijing quite a lot for projects and for working. But I lived in China 7 years before,
really?
But my Chinese is really very, very little. So.
Oh, you're modest. So what brings you to Beijing this time?
This time we're working on a project with Liu Yinging for Animal Conservancy. And we've been working on this project for a long time. So I'm here supporting her. And I'm also developing some other projects as well.
I see. That's a very meaningful project. You know, we actually recently we just interviewed Dr. Ying, and we also mentioned about 2 videos that you helped her create.
Yes.
One is called All Living Thing. The other one is Breath of Life. Right? Yeah, can you tell the audience a bit more about the stories behind those 2 videos?
Absolutely.
How did that happen?
Absolutely. Wan Wu, which is the first one he was talking about, is a very familiar theme. The theme is Ave Maria, which is a very classical theme that we developed from that theme to something more modern. We chose actually 10 songs as our foundation for doing an album of work, and the album of work is intended to bring audiences closer to classical music. And we do this.
So they're all 10 classical music pieces.
They're all very famous melodies.
Okay.
And everybody knows what they are, but we're reinventing the melodies. So I was actually, the story behind Wan Wu is that I was on my front porch at the house. I live in the country in Thailand, actually.
Close to the nature.
Close to nature. And Ying had sent me an email about this idea. So I'm listening to the Schubert is the composer for Ave Maria. And I'm listening to this. I'm outside actually playing with my kitty cats on the front porch. And I'm hearing the birds and everything, and I'm hearing the woodpecker, you know, it's and it's going
that's
on
the rhythm.
on the tree. I said, "Wow, Ave Maria!" Da, 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 da. And so I turned that into African drums.
Wow!
And so the setting is deep Africa. It's a story actually about elephants and the struggles that they go through just on a daily basis, being elephants.
Yeah.
And that's what the video is about.
You know, I watched the video and I'm very much impressed by the quality of it. It reminds me of like BBC's documentary, like Planet Earth.
Oh,
that
sure.
kind of quality. Yeah.
Well, we're kind of that's sort of what we want to do, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, that kind of.
I'm sure to make it, you know, finally finish the final cut of the movie, it's a long process, right? How long did it take you to finish it?
Actually, we started talking about this 3 years ago.
Wow.
And it took a year to finally decide that we were going to do the first song, which is this particular one. Mm-hmm. And then the actual production just a few months, and then more time for developing the video.
Where did you get those video footages from?
They were either sent to us or found by our assistants from various companies or websites or actual footage. Ying Ying's also been to Africa, so some of it was actual footage, and so it just depends on where it came from, but it all was fit together.
Yeah, I can imagine. Must be a lot of footage, and I have to choose the best one to fit into the video. That must be quite challenging, right?
It was a bit of a work, but the whole concept of these pieces is that it starts with the music first.
Oh.
And to start with the music, you also have to visualize what the end is going to be. So I'm very, very visual actually about how I think about music. So when she told me the idea, then it was not so difficult to conceptualize, but to actually put together, it takes a bit of work.
I see. So in your personal opinion, what's the most challenging thing producing such a video?
Oh, I think, well, the video and the song both. I think the most challenging thing is pleasing myself.
Because you're hard to please?
Yeah, I'm hard to please. And everybody around me tells, oh, that's great, oh, wonderful. Oh, I'm thinking, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that, you know. So it's always, I think, about that. In the end, it's mostly about, that's the hardest.
You're perfectionist.
Kind of, yeah. That's okay.
I see, but that's good. That shows you have high standard.
Amazing magic about that is that someone like Ying Ying is highly educated, and she's a PhD in music, and I'm also educated in music. I don't have a PhD, but my expertise is more in production, and so we're both very meticulous about both sides. You know, she's highly classically trained, and I'm very particular about certain elements of production. So it has the potential of disaster, but it actually is an amazing way to work when you have somebody that's either you're equal or you look up to, you know. It's really quite amazing process. From start to finish, we're back and forth, and she was it's just an amazing person to work with. And of course, the second song's easier, and the third one, now we're on the third one now, and the fourth one we're already on 2 more.
Really? Wow.
So it's become easier. We've got a process now. You know?
Yeah. You find the vibe, right? And it goes faster and faster.
Yeah, much easier. Sure.
Great. And your second one is the Breath of Life.
Yes.
That came after the first one.
Yes, it was just released last month. Yes.
What's the difference in the second one compared to the first one?
Oh wow! Well, thankfully they're vastly different, because probably the worst, you talked about challenge, probably the worst nightmare for a producer is that everything sounds the same. So
no.
They're not the same. Again, I don't know exactly where the idea comes from, but the feeling of the songs and the vibe and the actual rhythms and all these things just are very organic and spontaneous and in the beginning. And I have to go with my first instinct about all the productions. And Wan Wu was very easy because it just popped out. African drums, Ave Maria, it all fit together. Yeah. And then the other one, Ling Shi, was the totally off the wall. We did bossa nova and samba. It's very Brazilian, and if you knew the original song, it's the furthest thing from that ever. So the fact that it actually adapted to that rhythm, I hired a Latin percussionist and instrumentalist have 12 guitars in the song.
Wow.
It's just totally transformed, and it's exciting because
magic.
it's magical.
Yeah.
Because I get to sit there and watch it happen. You know, I just do a little bit of things. I tell them this, tell them that. But the performers really bring it to life, and by the end of the process, it becomes a song. And the video, I think, is really fantastic for this one as well.
Indeed, indeed. You're really thankful for the work you've done. You brought us an inspiring video. Excellent.
Thank you so much.
Can you also tell us usually where you get inspirations for your work from?
Very much from sounds, just sound in general. When I'm putting together songs, actually, I have a library, my own library of sounds that I've created or I've borrowed from someone.
You collect sounds?
Collect sounds and musical sounds, non-musical sounds. So I might put together something very odd. Yeah, maybe like a chair banging on the wall for a beat or something like this, or just I just really go by the actual sound, and it doesn't matter what it is. The frequency of the sound makes a difference, and then go from there.
That shows you're very sensitive to the sounds. Some sounds to ordinary people may feel like a noise, but you can turn noise into good melody.
There's a famous composer. His name is John Cage, and he was this way. He didn't really make music. He made noise.
Really?
Yeah, mostly. He used objects. He would put objects between the piano strings, and you play the piano, and it sounds like but he was trying to capture the natural surroundings where he was at any point. So I learned a lot when I was in university. I learned about this man. He's probably the most famous 20th century composer in the West. And because of this concept of everything he did was about natural surroundings. So I always remembered that, and nothing is wasted. No sound is wasted. Whatever you're breathing is a sound. You just have to. If you know how to capitalize on it, you can do pretty well.
Wow, excellent. And most of our audience are youngsters, young people. I'm sure many of them are interested in working in the music industry to become like a musician or music producer. Any advice you could give to them?
Absolutely. Do exactly what is in your heart. Absolutely. People will always try to tell you what to do.
Follow your heart.
Follow your heart. I mean, it sounds so cliche, and I used to hate hearing it. But as I get older and older, it just has a deeper meaning. Because in the end of everything, if I haven't done what I wanted, what's the point? So you have to do a little bit of things that I'm not comfortable with, but if you have an idea, just do it. And if it's a real idea that's going to make you successful, then it will be successful. But make sure that's what you want to do.
Follow your heart. I mean, your heart tells you whether you're really happy about what you're doing or not.
Your gut always tells you. It always speaks for you.
Don't ever disappoint your own heart.
No, it's very easy to know when it's not right.
Very good. Wow, thank you so much for taking the interview. Before we finish up here, any other words you want to say to our audience?
Just stay tuned, and the most important thing I think about anything artistic is when you listen to something, or I hesitate to give anybody advice, but if I was to give advice, go into looking and listening to something with a completely blank mind. Clear your mind as much as possible, and sit through the experience. Even if it just sounds horrible, you hate it, just sit through it, and then you'll learn how to appreciate something. And if you've done that, then we call that active listening, and you can really benefit I think in all ways from that kind of thing. So look out for our new things, and go to our website and keep up with us, and we'll also look forward to presenting more material soon.
Excellent. With the advice you're giving us, I'm sure we'll find more happiness in your life.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing more wonderful work from you.
Thanks so
again.
much. Thanks so much.
See you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.